So I'm about to graduate, so I'd say what I'm most afraid of now is like having a career that I don't find fulfilling.
I think that I am most afraid of people in my life who I love being hurt or dying or disappointed in me.
Like as in the current moment? Probably cold weather.
How are you?
I would say I'm most afraid of my student debt right now. I just graduated in May, so it's kind of overwhelming, but...
I guess what I'm most afraid of in life, I guess it's just like loneliness, being alone, dying alone, and there not being anybody there for me really, not being able to develop like a deep connection with somebody, which is like a very irrational fear, because I feel like I'm pretty good at making close friends, but like, I don't know, like I just have a fear of being isolated, and I think it kind of goes back to my childhood. Growing up as an only child, not really having any siblings. I kind of just try to surround myself with people to feel like a certain void I have. So, yeah.
I think the thing that I'm most afraid of right now is just like figuring out like my future and what's gonna happen, because there's like a lot of like unknowns. Like I'm here still studying and doing my best, but it's also just like the fear of like what's to come and like how it'll turn out to be like in the future. But it was
probably the future. Yeah, probably thinking about the future and, you know, managing money, stuff like that.
I'm most afraid of not knowing what I'm going to be doing in my future. I'm most afraid of not being able to support myself financially, especially like, you know, without the help of my parents and like living alone in the future. So that's like what I'm most afraid of right now.
I think the thing I'm most afraid of is probably the future, just because there's so many mysteries and adventures that I don't know what they really have in store for me. And so that can be scary, but it's also, I try to look at that as like an opportunity and something exciting.
Probably like a movie like Slender Man.
Of not being the best role model for my students, not teaching them what they need to know, forgetting something, saying the wrong thing. I remember so many moments from my childhood where teachers said something to me and I still remember exact words that like scarred me, and I'm deathly afraid that that will happen to one of my students.
I think what I'm most afraid of right now is being unsuccessful in my new job that I just started, because it's my first job and I want to do well and I want to be a team player, and so not living up to that, I think, really scares me.
I'm most afraid of being one of the biggest losers that the Quran talks about. The biggest, to be the loser. They don't say big loser, they say loser, being a loser. And a loser, they mean the people who fall short in judgment. I don't want to fall short in judgment, and that's my biggest fear, judgment day.
At the moment, what I'm most afraid of in life is just dying alone. You know, that's, I mean, we don't know what the next day will hold, so just having friends around and enjoying their company.
Right now, I'd say I'm most afraid of not getting the major that I want. It's my first year and I want to do global security and justice, but it's competitive. So like, I gotta put in like a major grind this like next like year so that I could like actually get that, because I want to be able to like study what I want. And like, if I don't, then like what's the point, you know?
I'm currently afraid of not reaching my maximum potential, just because I've made a couple mistakes in the past 4 years or so, messed up a lot of opportunities. So I guess I'm afraid of not being able to reach that same point or surpassing that point.